Hello, hello. Day 47. Happy Easter. Today I am going to answer a question from Michael. Michael, thanks for your question. And the question is very relevant. And I'm 47 days into meditating every day for 2 hours, and I haven't really shared too much in detail about my meditation, whatever method, technique. And that's what Michael asks. He asks, basically, how do you meditate? And I've said it in so many words, but essentially what I do is I close my eyes and I do nothing at all. I just really, if there was a word, if there was a doing for it, it would be I listen to the silence. Or I allow, I allow. Or you could say I completely let go. I just, sometimes if you're having trouble letting go in a meditation and if you're stuck in the thinking mind, it's nice to just like go deep into your gut or your solar plexus right about an inch above your belly button. Just go deep into your gut and to let go there. Just stop clenching. Or you could say I surrender. And really what I do, or another way you could say it is I just focus on, not really focus, I just open myself. I open myself to receiving, and I just completely and utterly let go. That's all I do. I just let whatever happens happen in my body. I let the mind have its complete freedom, and that's what I do. So I hope that answers your question, Michael. Sometimes I'll sit with a straight spine. Sometimes I'll just kind of whatever, lounge about, kind of lay back. Sometimes if I'm in a lot of pain, I'll straight up just take child's pose. The main thing I'm trying to do is to not leave the meditation. So I allow myself to move around. I allow myself to get lost in story. I just allow it all. I don't resist. The thing I just don't resist is I don't resist that movement that says you need to get up right now. I don't resist that, and I just stay there and I stay there and I stay there. And so much of my meditation is really just waiting for pain to show up. Because on the other side of the pain, there's always magic for me. There's always something, divine for me to learn. The pain always brings me more into my heart, and it always releases and sheds another layer that keeps me from going into my heart. So a lot of days, it's about just sitting there and waiting for the pain to show up. And it's not like I'm trying to bring pain up. I don't go looking for it. The silence just brings it up all on its own. You don't need to go looking for it. And then it's about listening to that higher voice when the pain shows up. The higher voice says, yes, this is the treasure. This is the gold. This is expansion. This is evolution. This is why you're doing this, to feel this pain, to liberate yourself from this pain. Instead of listening to the lower voice that says, this is too much. You did great today. It's time to get up. You've done your work. You've accomplished what you set out to do. It's time to go eat some food. Don't you feel how hungry you are? Or it's time you need water right now, or something. You need to go outside. That smaller voice, that smaller me, the ego, that basically the part of you that's dying starts coming up. And the thing is, that smaller voice is super fucking loud when there's so much pain. It's basically, it can just be like fucking like screaming at you. Sorry for all the language on Easter, my God. And it can like really be chaos, right? With that small voice. And the higher voice is the deeper voice, just has this silence to it, just has this, it's not loud, it's not noisy, it's not in your face, it's just this deep knowing within you that, yes, this is grace, this is the path to knowing yourself as God, to knowing the God within you, this is the path to birthing new earth. So that's what these meditations are, Michael, it's less about a technique, how I sit, whatever. It's more just, let's sit here and let's wait for pain to show up. And when that pain shows up, how are we going to open to it and not resist it, and shine our light of awareness on it without judgment? And can we open our heart to it? Can we fully allow it up? Or when that pain shows up, are we gonna just say, too much, this is too much for me and I gotta leave the meditation? And this is why I did the 100-day challenge, the 100-day self-experiment. And I had to make it public, because there's no way I would have sat with the pain I've sat with these last 47 days if it wasn't for putting this on my channel to hold me accountable. There's no other way I could have done it. I couldn't have just done it on my own. I had to really use my channel as leverage to do this, to really pull this off. Because I knew this, that the pain was a gift. I knew that on the other side of pain is magic. The Kundalini had taught me that. But I still always resisted that small, yet very loud and obnoxious voice. I always resisted it and would just get up. I would always just leave the meditation 20, 30 minutes in, right when all the magic was happening, you know? But through these last 47 days, keeping the integrity of, always just, this channel is all about honesty, integrity, authenticity, opening your heart, And I knew when I said I was doing 100 days for 2 hours every day, I knew that it was already done. And I didn't know what I had signed up for, though. And how the second day, I was like, what have I done? The second day, pain showed up like right away, and it did not leave, and it just got worse for 2 hours. And I was like in tears, I believe. I could barely even eat because I had so much pain in my solar plexus. My heart felt broken and shattered. I felt like I was like floating in the ethers, because I had just been blown open. My lips were vibrating. I felt ungrounded. But I kid you not, 4 hours later in that day, I was in this celestial heaven realm. I was like, what is this? I was experiencing new states of consciousness that I didn't even know could be tapped into. And that's when I was like, okay, this is worth it. And Kyle Cease, who I adopted this whole experiment after, I was like, Kyle Cease was so right when he said, on the other side of pain is magic. And that's what this is. It's just opening up to one layer of pain at a time. And sometimes lately, pain doesn't show up. Or it shows up, but it's different and it's more subtle. Like in the first week, the pain is just, it's like writhing pain, It's like, get me out of here, pain. But now the pain is subtle, and the pain is just kind of more of like a dullness. Like you can feel like just limiting beliefs, or like small shards of unworthiness coming up and out. Because whatever's coming up is coming out. That's the other beautiful thing about meditation. A lot of stuff now that comes up is like, you don't have anything to say today. You don't have anything important to say. Why would you do 100 days? Don't you know that you're going to be in the void some days? Don't you know you're going to just be off some days? And that's the stuff I deal with now. It's like, I get some physical pain, but it's more just like, now it's like these deep-rooted subconscious beliefs are surfacing and making their way out. And I just can see them, all as thoughts now. Because I don't do these videos through the head. I don't do these videos through the mind. They come out through the body, out through the heart, So even if the mind's telling me I don't have anything to say, it's like, well, I'm not saying anything from that perspective anyways, so that's fine. And I just let the mind have that movement. And I just let the heart speak as much as I can. And that's what I want to end on. When you're feeling that very physical pain, that's your juice, man. I'm talking to Michael now, I guess. All of you though, that's your juice. That physical pain is your creativity. When you're in a meditation for 2 hours, or even if you're only going an hour, you'll experience it. Maybe even a half hour if you're new to this. But when you're in the meditation and you feel boredom, restlessness, anxiety, angst, just irritation, agitation, that is so much creativity, creative energy waiting just to be mined and tapped. And literally all you have to do, getting goosebumps. All you have to do to tap that creative energy is sit there with it. Sit there with the irritation. Sit there with the restlessness, the anxiety, the angst, that part of you that just wants to get up and move. Just sit there and sit there and sit there and feel it. Feel it transform into your creative passion. Feel it transform into into inspiration. That's literally what it does. That physical pain that comes up, a lot of times it's going to be in your solar plexus and your heart, and you can just feel it. And like I said, a lot of times in my first week, 2 weeks, probably even 3 weeks especially, I would just have to keel over because there's so much literally physical pain coming up, like all those inner children that had never been heard coming up screaming. If you can sit with that pain, and if you can just allow it to transmute, over a course of time in your meditation, you're going to get up like so inspired. You're going to get up so much more connected to your truth. You just had to like let a layer fall away. Like that's, so when I feel physical pain now, I start getting really excited. That's when that higher voice comes in and says, "Ooh, this is a gift. Aren't you lucky you get to feel physical pain today, because you know what's on the other side of that." And it's like when you've gone through it enough times, like I have during these 47 days, you just know what awaits you. And so you see the physical pain as like, oh, this is the reason I'm doing this. Thank you for this pain, because now I get to release another layer of what I'm not. Now I get to liberate myself on an even deeper level so that I can shine my light even brighter. Because the truth is, what meditation is showing me as well, we can shine our light as bright as we want to. There's nothing limiting us in this world from shining our light as bright as we want to. That's our choice. That comes down to our choice. And all we have to do to shine our light brighter is let the things fall away that keeps it dim. And what keeps it dimmed is all of that inner pain that we've suppressed and haven't wanted to feel. So in meditation, when it's coming up, guess what? Your light's getting brighter. And so like today, I'm not going to lie to you. This is a weird thing to say, but it's so true. I was frustrated. I had no physical pain come up today. And I sat there forever. And then I went back and sat there and nothing. And I'm like, where's the pain? And this is crazy to say, right? Because the pain is like my juice now. The pain is like what fuels my creativity. The pain gets me tapped in to my inner truth, to source energy. And it's almost like I don't even know what to do when there's no pain in a meditation. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, do I need to sit here for 4 hours? And you know what? I'm actually thinking about, I'm not going to make a promise yet, but I'm actually thinking about doing one day where I just go for 4 hours without a break and to see what happens. Or just literally sit there and sit there and sit there until something shows up. I know that's crazy to say. And I wish day one me could come and watch this video and I'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool. So that's how I meditate. 11:11, perfect time to end this video. Happy Easter. I love you guys. And let that silence transform you. And let that pain come up and experience the magic on the other side for yourselves. Namaste.